Ladies, let me tell you something right now. If you're sitting by that phone, waiting on a man to call or text you, you already giving up your power. You hear me? That phone should not control your peace. That man should not decide your worth with a ringtone or a little bubble on the screen. See, men are simple. We chase what we value. We go after what we respect. But here's the truth. You don't make a man step up by begging him. You make him step up by showing him what life feels like without you. Silence is powerful, ladies. Absence is louder than any text you could ever send. When you stop chasing, stop double texting, stop checking if he's active now online, you shift the energy. He feels that. A man knows when your attention ain't glued to him no more. That's when he starts thinking, hold up, where's she at? Who's she with? Why ain't she calling me? That's when he comes back running. Ladies, let me break something down to you, because I know a whole lot of you have been sitting there staring at that phone, waiting on some man to call you or text you. And deep down inside, you're getting frustrated, confused, maybe even hurt. And the crazy part is, you don't even realize how much power you're giving away to that one little device in your hand. That phone has become the gatekeeper to your peace, your joy, your confidence. But let me tell you something, baby. A man does not define your worth with a phone call or a text message. That phone does not determine how valuable you are. And if you let a man control you with silence, you're already playing a losing game. See, here's the thing about men. We are wired to pursue. We go after what we want. We chase what we value. And when we value it, we'll make sure we don't lose it. So if a man is not calling you, if he's not texting you, if he's not showing effort, it's not because he doesn't know how. It's because in his mind, he doesn't feel like he has to. You've already made it too easy. You've already given him the assurance that no matter how he acts, you'll still be there waiting. But let me tell you this, men respect boundaries, men respect distance, and men respect what they think they could lose. The reason a lot of women get played, ignored, or put on the back burner is not because aren't beautiful, not because they aren't worthy, but because they gave up their power too soon. When you're constantly calling, texting, checking his page, making sure he sees your effort, what you're really doing is teaching him that he doesn't have to do the chasing. He doesn't have to call you back because you'll call again. He doesn't have to text you because you'll double text. He doesn't have to check on you because you'll check on him. And the truth is, once a man realizes you're always available, no matter how little he gives, he will give you even less. But let me tell you the flip side of that story, because this is where everything changes. When you pull back, when you stop calling, when you stop sending those, just checking in, texts, when you stop pouring all your energy into somebody who isn't matching it, the whole energy shifts. All of a sudden, he feels that silence. And trust me, silence is louder than any words you could ever say. Men are very aware when your attention is no longer glued to them. That's when the curiosity kicks in. That's when the questions start swirling in his head. Hold up. Why hasn't she called? Why isn't she blowing up my phone? Who is she talking to? Who's keeping her busy? That man will start checking his phone like he's the one waiting now. He'll start replaying in his head the last time you two spoke. He'll start wondering if maybe he pushed too far. And that right there is the shift. You stop chasing and he starts. But let me be real with you. This isn't about playing games. It's not about tricking somebody into calling or texting you. It's about you stepping into your own value and realizing that your life is not supposed to be paused while you wait for somebody else to act right. When you stop chasing, when you stop letting that phone control your emotions, you're not only teaching him how to treat you, you're also teaching yourself that you are the prize. And when a man sees that confidence, when he sees that you are glowing, moving, living, laughing without him, that's when he realizes he can't afford to lose you. And that, my friend, is when that phone will light up. Silence is a language, and I don't think most women realize just how loud that language speaks to a man. You think you need to argue, explain, send long paragraphs, or try to prove your worth. But let me tell you something. When you stop all that noise and simply go quiet, that silence will echo louder in his head than anything you could have said. Because men are used to attention. We're used to women showing interest, giving reassurance, making sure we know we're wanted. When you take that away, it shakes a man up. He feels the absence of it like a man walking into a room where the music just stopped. He notices it instantly. A man may act tough, like he doesn't care, like he's busy, like your calls don't matter. But don't get fooled by that act. Every man notices when the attention stops. Every man notices when a woman who was once reaching out suddenly falls silent. At first, he may brush it off, tell himself, "Oh, she'll be back, she always calls." But the longer that silence stretches, the heavier it gets. His mind starts wandering, his pride starts nagging him, and his ego starts whispering questions he can't answer. Where is she? Who's she talking to? Did somebody else step in and take the attention I used to get? And right there, without you saying a single word, you've planted a seed in his mind that makes him restless. See, men respond to distance. We don't like to admit it, but it's true. When you're all up in a man's face, giving him everything without him earning it, he takes it for granted. That's human nature. But the moment that attention is gone, that silence sets in, and he realizes he no longer has access to your energy like before. That's when reality hits. And it doesn't matter if he's out with his friends, busy at work, or scrolling on his phone. He will think about you. And the reason he will think about you is because men value what they could lose. Silence makes a man sit with the thought of losing you, and that thought is powerful. Now, don't confuse silence with punishment. This isn't about trying to manipulate him or giving him the cold shoulder out of spite. It's about protecting your peace and giving yourself space from someone who isn't stepping up. Silence is self-respect. It says, if you're not going to give me effort, I'm not going to beg for it. And the moment you carry yourself with that type of quiet strength, that's when you change the whole dynamic. I've seen women talk themselves out of respect because they didn't know when to stop talking. They thought if they explained themselves enough, he'd get it. If they argued enough, he'd change. If they begged enough, he'd finally step up. But let me tell you something, begging does not inspire love. Explaining yourself over and over does not create respect. A man doesn't step up because you pressured him. He steps up because he realized on his own that he doesn't want to lose you. And the fastest way for a man to realize that is through silence. The best part about silence is that it shifts the power back to you. Because while he's over there wondering, questioning, pacing in his head about why you're not calling, you're over here living. You're not waiting by the phone anymore. You're not checking to see if he's online. You're not losing sleep because of what he didn't say. Instead, you're focused on your own joy, your own growth, your own glow. And that glow, that peace, that's the very thing that will drive him crazy enough to call, to text, to come looking for you. Silence makes him realize that your presence was a gift, not a guarantee. And when he feels that truth deep enough, he'll do whatever he can to hear your voice again. Let me tell you something real plain and simple. A man will always chase what he respects. It's in our nature. We go after what feels valuable to us. We pursue the thing that makes us feel like we're winning. And if a man doesn't respect you, he's not going to chase you. He's not going to value you. And he's not going to put in the effort you deserve. That's just the truth. See, men respect boundaries. We respect standards. We respect when a woman makes it clear, without even having to say much, that she's not going to settle for being halfway loved. You want to know why some women keep a man hooked and others can't even get a call back? It's not about looks. It's not about what you wear, how you talk, or even what you do for him. It's about the level of respect that woman has for herself. When a woman respects herself, it forces a man to step up his game. He knows he can't just do the bare minimum because she's not going to accept it. He knows if he plays around, she'll walk away. And that pressure, that challenge, is what makes a man chase. Now, here's where a lot of women mess up. They confuse giving love with giving away their standards. They think, if I just show him how much I care, he'll see I'm the one. But love without respect doesn't hold weight. You can cook for him, buy him gifts, stay up late listening to his problems, bend over backwards to prove you're loyal. But if you don't respect yourself, he won't respect you. Because in a man's mind, if you accept anything, he can give you anything. And once he knows you'll accept the excuses, the broken promises, the silence, he stops trying. But when you set that bar high, when you show him you're not afraid to walk away from nonsense, when you carry yourself like a prize instead of a pursuer, you trigger something inside a man. You tap into his instinct to win. Men like to win. We're competitive by nature. We want the trophy, the prize, the thing we feel like we earned. And when a man feels like he has to work for you, when he feels like he has to show up consistently to keep you, that's when you see him calling, texting, checking in, making plans, trying harder. It's not because he suddenly became a different person. It's because you required more from him. And let me tell you, a man may not admit this out loud, but we respect the women who don't let us play with them. We might grumble about it. We might act frustrated, but deep down we admire it because it makes us better. It forces us to bring more to the table. So if you're sitting there wondering why he's not chasing, ask yourself, have you been respecting yourself the way you want him to respect you? Do you have boundaries, or are you bending them every time he gives you a little attention? Because men are watching that. We're paying attention to what you allow. And the moment you show that you'll accept being an option, that's all you'll ever be. But when you make it clear through your actions, not your words, that you're the prize, you're valuable, you're not settling, you shift the whole game. That's when he starts running after you. A man wants to feel like he earned what he has. He wants to know that if he got you, it's because he stepped up. That's how men are wired. And when you understand that, you'll stop wasting energy trying to convince him to respect you. And you'll start showing him by the way you respect yourself. That's when the calls come in. That's when the texts start showing up. That's when he realizes he can't risk losing you because he knows another man would be more than happy to step in and claim the prize he took for granted. One of the worst things you can ever do in a relationship is beg somebody to notice you. Begging for love, begging for attention, begging for time, that's not love, that's desperation. And let me tell you something, desperation don't make a man step up, it makes him step back. Because men don't chase what's begging for them. Men chase what they feel lucky to have. When you put yourself in the position of begging for a man's attention, you automatically tell him you don't believe you're enough on your own. And the moment a man senses that, he loses respect for you. A man doesn't want somebody who's always available on demand like a service. He wants somebody who challenges him, who makes him rise up, who makes him feel like he has to earn his place. That doesn't mean you play games or act fake. It means you value yourself so much that you refuse to beg anybody to see it. When you walk in your worth, when you carry yourself like you know you are the prize, you don't have to beg. You don't have to ask for calls, texts, or attention. A man will naturally give it because he knows if he doesn't, somebody else will. See, ladies, begging is when you send that extra text after he didn't respond to the first one. Begging is when you rearrange your whole schedule just to fit into his. Begging is when you accept crumbs and call it a meal. And deep down, every time you do that, you feel yourself shrinking. You feel yourself losing a little more of your dignity, a little more of your confidence. But when you stop begging, when you stop over-explaining and stop chasing, you take your power back. You remind yourself, I am not an option. I am not second best. I am not something to keep around for convenience. You remind yourself that you are the prize. Now let's talk about that word, prize. Some people hear it and think it means being arrogant or hard to get. That's not what I'm talking about. Being the prize simply means understanding your value. It means recognizing that your love, your loyalty, your energy, your time, and your body are gifts. And those gifts should not be handed out to somebody who doesn't even make an effort to show up. When a man realizes you know your worth, he can't help but respect it. And when he respects it, he treats you differently. He'll call, he'll text, he'll check in, not because you begged him to, but because he wants to. Think about it like this: a luxury car doesn't beg to be bought. It sits there, polished, shining, and everybody knows what it's worth. People who want it step up, pay the price, and handle it with care. Now, on the other hand, a cheap old car sitting on the side of the road with a for sale sign, that thing will sit there forever, and folks will try to bargain it down to the lowest number possible. Why? Because the presentation says it's not valuable. Same thing with you. When you treat yourself like the luxury, the prize, the high value gift that you are, men will treat you with care. But if you act like you'll accept whatever comes, men will give you the bare minimum and feel like they're doing you a favor. So stop chasing people who ain't chasing you. Stop begging for calls and texts like it's a reward. Your worth does not decrease because somebody failed to recognize it. Their blindness doesn't mean you're invisible. It means they don't deserve the view. When you live in that truth, when you hold yourself like you are the prize, you will see a shift, because men chase what they value. And if he doesn't chase you, don't lose sleep over it. Another man will. If a man really wants you, you won't have to question it. You won't have to sit by the phone wondering if he's going to call. You won't have to stare at your screen waiting on a text that never comes. Because when a man is serious about you, he's going to make sure you know it. A real man doesn't leave you in confusion. He doesn't keep you hanging, trying to decode his silence or guessing what he feels. If he's truly interested, his actions will line up with his words, and you won't be left doubting. See, ladies, men are not complicated. We can act like we are, but we're really not. When a man wants something, he goes after it. If he's hungry, he finds food. If he's broke, he goes to work. If he wants that new pair of shoes or that car, he finds a way to get it. So don't let a man fool you into thinking he's too busy to call or too tired to text. Because the truth is, people make time for what they want. If he really wants to hear your voice, he'll pick up the phone. If he really wants to see you, he'll make plans. If he really wants to keep you, he'll show consistency. The problem is, too many women are giving passes to men who don't deserve them. He disappears for days, then shows back up like nothing happened, and you let him back in. He cancels plans, and you excuse it every time he gives you crumbs of effort, and you act like it's a full meal. But let me tell you, the right man will never make you feel like you're begging for attention. He will give it freely because he values your presence in his life. The wrong man will make you feel like an option. The right man will make you feel like the only choice. And ladies, here's the thing: when a man really sees your worth, he doesn't play games with your time. He knows time is valuable, and he knows every second he wastes could cost him the chance of losing you. That's why a man who truly wants you will move with urgency. He's not going to drag his feet. He's not going to keep you wondering. And he's not going to risk letting another man step in and take his place. He's going to secure what he wants. And if what he wants is you, you will feel it. Now, don't mistake effort for perfection. No man is perfect, and even a good man might slip up here and there. But there's a difference between human mistakes and consistent patterns of neglect. A real man may mess up, but he'll correct it. He'll apologize, he'll try harder, and he'll learn from it. A man who doesn't care will keep repeating the same behavior because he knows you'll tolerate it. And the more you tolerate, the less he gives. So stop wasting your time analyzing mixed signals. Stop trying to justify why he isn't calling, why he isn't texting, why he isn't showing effort. Because the truth is, when a man is serious about you, there will be no confusion. You won't have to wonder, you won't have to beg, you won't have to question his intentions. He will make it known, his actions will tell you louder than his words ever could. And if you don't feel that, if all you feel is waiting, doubting, and hoping, then that man is not the one. When the right man comes into your life, you'll realize love is not supposed to be stressful. It's not supposed to leave you anxious. It's supposed to give you peace. And peace comes from consistency, not excuses. If he really wants you, he will show it. If he doesn't, let him go. Because somewhere out there is a man who will look at you and say, I'm not about to let her slip away. And that man will call, he will text, he will show up. Because to him, you are worth it. The most powerful thing you can do in any relationship is be happy on your own. I don't mean pretending. I don't mean faking a smile while you're broken inside. I mean genuinely building a life that brings you peace and joy, whether a man is there or not. Because let me tell you, nothing gets a man's attention faster than a woman who is glowing without him. A woman who has her own joy, her own energy, her own confidence. That woman is magnetic. She doesn't have to chase. She doesn't have to beg. And she doesn't have to force anybody to call or text her. She attracts it because her energy speaks for itself. See, men can feel when a woman is desperate, when she's clinging, when she's waiting for him to give her validation. And when he feels that, he pulls back because it makes him feel pressured. But when a man sees that you're happy without him, that you're moving, laughing, living, and loving life regardless, it creates curiosity in him. He starts asking himself, why is she so good without me? Who's making her smile? What's keeping her so busy? She doesn't even notice my silence. That's when the calls come. That's when the texts show up, because men are drawn to women who don't need them to survive. The truth is, you should never put your happiness in the hands of somebody else. If you're waiting on a man's text to feel beautiful, if you're waiting on his call to feel wanted, then you've already given him control over your emotions. That's too much power to hand over to anybody. Happiness is an inside job. You create it with the way you live, the way you treat yourself, the way you set your boundaries. And when you build that happiness from the inside out, nobody can take it away, not even a man who chooses silence. And let me make this clear, a man who really wants to be with you will not want to compete with your happiness. He will want to add to it. That's how you know the difference between the wrong one and the right one. The wrong one feels threatened by your joy, so he tries to control it. The right one sees your joy and says, how can I be a part of that? That's why focusing on yourself is so powerful. It filters out the wrong men and makes space for the right one. Now, here's what happens when you shift your focus back to yourself. You stop waiting by the phone. You stop checking if he's online. You stop letting his actions control your day. Instead, you wake up and decide, I'm going to make today good no matter what. You go out with your friends. You pursue your goals. You invest in your growth. You do things that feed your spirit. And little by little, that glow starts to show. Your smile gets brighter, your confidence gets stronger, your energy gets lighter. And trust me, that glow does not go unnoticed. A man may try to act like he doesn't care, but when he sees you glowing without him, it stings. It makes him realize he is not the source of your joy. And that's when he realizes he could lose you. And the thought of losing a woman who is happy and whole on her own, that's what makes a man step up. That's when he starts calling, texting, showing effort, because he doesn't want somebody else to step in and enjoy the happiness he took for granted. So don't ever dim your light waiting for somebody to notice you. Don't put your joy on hold for a phone call or a text message. Shine anyway. Be happy anyway. Glow anyway. Because your happiness is your power. And the moment you embrace that, you'll never have to chase another man's attention again.